That KSI speed fight, dude, that was planned at the exact same time as your card.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
They actually did it?
Yeah.
Damn.
At the exact same time as your card. Do you think that was pure coincidence?
Absolutely not. Obviously not.
He also wasn't super impressed with your knockout.
Of course, yeah. He does everything he can to discredit me.
Fuck.
Like, of course.
Sorry, dude. Because we need clips. Stop.
Of course.
Just sit there and let him talk.
Wait a second. Okay. Did he say that?
Yeah, there was a clip of him talking after the fight. I could pull it up and get this out.
Bro, you can't not be impressed. Like, come on.
Let me find it.
Yeah, like what more could I have possibly done? Like,
What?
But that's why he's losing fans, though. Because he is. No, like, genuinely, he's losing fans. Like, people are like, bro, like...
No, he can't be, bro.
He is.
Well, then who's going to buy Prime?
Bro, you're the one that carried it.
I'm just kidding.
You're the one that carried it the whole way anyways.
No, you can't say something like that. No, that's not true.
That's
true.
Jake. That's not true.
Regardless.
I
told you
obviously, all right, if you have millions of fans and you lose, like, if you're starting to lose some, like, there's still millions of fans, but people are like, yo, this is, like, inauthentic anymore. You're just trying to, like, take away from this kid, and, like, you're just clearly saying this shit, and you're 30 years old and acting like this with your ego and making everything about discrediting this person. It's like, all right, dude, grow up. I feel bad for him. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, like, not saying it in a talking shit way, I feel bad for him. I think he's a sorry, miserable, insecure, unhappy person.
He's not.
I think he is deep down. And you know better than everyone, bro, that anyone can put on a facade and go about their lives and be in a terrible spot and a terrible position. And just like you were pushing through the Japan moments, but still were podcasting and vlogging, but deep down you were hurting and struggling super bad, bro. Really, and so he could be as happy and joyful and be around you and for 2 or 3 days when you guys hang out for commercials, but he might go back to his thing. And I'm pretty sure, bro, he's just like, to be that insecure and miserable at 30 years old to try and do these things, like,
can I play this real quick?
It's sad. It's genuinely sad.
Can I just play this clip just so I don't get out of context here?
Shocked? No. Like, we all know that Jake just looks for super easy fights, and he fought a cab driver this time. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care about him. I didn't even know he was fine. I didn't even know he was fine at the same time as me. So yeah, am I shocked?
It's such a lie. He's just a fucking liar. And people in this day and age respect authenticity more than anything. And we all know that it's complete bullshit. A cab driver who's been doing it his whole entire life, 3 times Golden Gloves champion, and it's just like,
does he drive a cab though?
Is that true? Is any of that true?
No. No.
That's actually.
He might have to.
If there's no truth to the cab driver claim, then him saying that's actually kind of funny. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
That's like it's
context.
It's a thing in boxing that people say about fighters. That's like a thing,
like a bag of milk, like that. So okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't care about influencer boxing anymore. I am only invested in your rise. I personally believe that influencer boxing has seen its day. I don't care anymore. I don't care about any of the fights. This is just me personally. I'm sure there are some people out there who do. Your ability to break out and to now try to make a run for it in a solidified and credible manner it interests me and intrigues me. That said, if the Jake Paul KSI fight were to happen, I would watch that fight. After the knockout this past weekend, are you closer or further away from that fight ever happening?
Further, always further. He's not going to do it, and I've said it since the beginning of time. He wants to talk about everything except actual negotiations to make the fight happen. And the more serious I take it, the more scared he's going to get. And that's point blank, period.
I need y'all to fight and then make up so you can join Prime. Like, quickly.
You and him did it. You fought and then
well, that's what I'm saying.
It took a few years.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Like, life has a weird way of shaping out, and who knows what could happen, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not gonna fight me.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
you know,
it is what it is. And at the end of the day, like, I just don't think he's a good person.
damn.
I don't know him to the fucking heart. You know, I've spent some time with him. You spent a bunch of time with him. I don't get that impression having spent time around him. I'm sure you don't either, obviously, because you wouldn't be in a fucking business with him if that was the case.
No, I have to strongly disagree. You don't know him, and just like he doesn't know you. And I've said this before, bro. KSI is not JJ. In my head, those are like two different things, two different entities. Like JJ, the person is
he is very different.
Is not KSI, the internet.
Not different, just not as animated.
Not nearly. It just, I also think when and he knows this, when he is in KSI land, he can reach a level of confidence and power that I'm not sure like JJ, the FIFA gamer, would have. I believe, and I could be incorrect. But regardless, dude, whatever you do, if it's him or not, people are watching. And I know you have someone else in your sights. You've planned 2024 out somewhat in advance, and I know how far ahead you think. Any super fights coming up, or you sticking with I'm going to prove people wrong for now?
Yeah, no, there's big fights, conversations happening behind the scenes. It just comes down to a matter of, again, people actually wanting to do it, and
it's probably getting harder and harder
to
get people to sign.
It is,
dude. Your kid's favorite athlete.
That's crazy.
Some kid called me. He dropped a note off at the door we were staying at, and I was running by him. I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, don't come by the house. He's like, I'm sorry, Jake's just my favorite athlete. And I was like, damn, he's a sweetheart. What do you want me to say to him? He's like, he's my favorite athlete, and everyone was saying that he wouldn't win, and I'm believing him. And like, dude, you're really inspiring a lot of people.
Well, I think it's because the story is super relatable, and that's the goal with all of this, right? I think all these other athletes, it's like, oh, you're 6'8", you could jump 45 inches in the air. You were, gifted at birth. You've been doing it your whole life. Or even if they're small, it's like their dad was the basketball coach and made them do drills since they were 5 years old, and they're maybe only 5'10", but they've been doing it for 20 years, so they have the best handling. This story's for the kids that maybe wake up one day and want to completely reinvent themselves to maybe become an athlete, or whatever it is that they want to do in life that they didn't think was possible since they hadn't been doing it their whole life. And that is me with this story, showing up in the gym, looking like a fucking idiot, no muscle, off of Disney Channel. This kid's never going to, do anything in this sport. He'll never become anything, blah, 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 to 3 years and 9 months later being at the pinnacle and top of the sport and rising in skill level on a day-to-day basis to become world champion. And I think that is more powerful than any other sports story that I've seen, because they're just not relatable. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I'm watching this, but like, you're still 300 pounds and 6'9", and
your
dunking
thing
on people.
Your thing, this, I think it finally worked. I don't think there's really anybody left. Any of those naysayers left now. I just don't think there can be. I don't think you can be watching from the outside as either an athlete, a boxing analyst, a commentator, and be willing to have to stick your foot in your mouth that hard on the, at least, Jake Paul's a credible threat and a credible athlete narrative.
So so what do you have to say to KSI then, who's still?
No, I disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. See, here's the thing. This is one of the issues we have in today's day and age, and this is not having to do with either of you guys. I can like KSI as a person and heavily disagree with one of his opinions and takes, and agree in a major way with 95% of his other ones. That's completely okay. There's no animosity there. There's no hatred, nothing but complete love and respect for the person. But I can say that I think every time he says it now, you could see it by way of the comments. You could see it by way of the reactions of his peers, that his takes on you as a credible fighter and a credible threat are not, they're falsehoods now. So yeah, I would challenge him completely on those opinions. 100%. Yeah. That's obvious at this point.
I do wish people from a more macro perspective can kind of accept that you can like someone and disagree with what they have to say,
100%.
think, or do. There's a world where that's possible, but right now everything seems so divisive and polarizing. Like it's not even as fun to make content anymore.